All right, thanks for tuning in to Velo News TV. You are watching the Dirt Report with Fred Dreyer. I'm joined today by Brandon Dwight. We're at Boulder Cycle Sport here in North Boulder, Colorado, chatting about mountain bike racing. Brandon you were a former pro on the mountain bike, right?
Slow pro.
All right, let's hear about it. Tell us what your big results.
It's a tough sport. I think my best result ever was like 25th place, and I tell you, it's hard to crack into that top 10. It's quite a challenge for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people in Boulder, Colorado have been cracking into the top 10. This is a town, we have some mountain biking talent in this town.
Absolutely.
And it makes it hard when you go out and ride with them to try and keep up.
It does. It's very humbling, very humbling.
Very humbling. Well, the mountain bike season for both cross country and gravity is in full swing right now. We have the National Mountain Bike Series, which has had 3 rounds already. We have the World Cup Series, which just finished up its first rounds for cross country and downhill. And we also have this new USA Cycling National Mountain Bike Racing Calendars, which is going on right now. We're gonna start talking about the World Cup right now, because that's kind of the premier series.
Definitely.
For off-road racing right now. The World Cup opened at the end of April in Houffalize, Belgium. And
cycling hotbed.
Cycling hotbed. People are crazy in Houffalize. You hear stories about thousands of drunken Belgians.
Huge crowds.
Lining the course, yelling at people, pushing on them.
Yeah.
We had some pretty good American and North American results. In the women's side, the biggest shining star was Georgia Gould.
Yep.
Georgia Gould managed an 8th place finish.
Impressive.
This is her first time racing in a European World Cup, and I've never raced one of these things.
Yeah, she showed some great form this cyclocross season,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she's just going to keep going all throughout the summer.
Yeah, Georgia was a podium contender, top 10 contender in National Mountain Bike Series races last year. She came out in the season this year and has just been blowing everyone away. Rolled into Houffalize, not really knowing what to expect with these European World Cup races, and boom, top 10. The other interesting tidbit that came out of that race was, if you looked at the front of the race, I guess the race started with a big, 18% climb up a paved hill.
Yeah, they were trying to just separate the field instantly.
Yeah, and the first 3 women across at the top of the hill were members of the Chinese national mountain bike team. And one of the Chinese national mountain bike team members, Ren Chenyuan, ended up beating Gunrita Dahlia in the end to win the race.
Yep.
It was kind of a spectacular thing because, the Chinese mountain bikers were maybe top 10, top 20
Right.
in the World Cups last year, and all of a sudden they're winning. It's a sign that China is definitely very serious
Yep.
about winning at the Beijing Olympics coming up here next year. Then the men's race followed that, the World Cup.
Yeah, the men's race was pretty impressive too. I think they had something like 215 starters, and they tried to limit the field to people with only 20 UCI points, but apparently a lot of people have 20 UCI points. So anyway, it was a really deep, big field, right off the gun, huge climb, separates the field, and the battle ensued. It was really dusty, and I think you're going to see this happening a lot throughout the rest of the season. It's going to be that Epsilon Hermida battle, and who came out on top. So it was.
What's it like doing a cross country race with over 200 people? What must it be like?
Well, if it's dusty like it was there, and you're not in the front, you can't even see the trail in front of you because the dust is so thick. So if you're not in the front, you're just suffering in the back, inhaling dust and hitting rocks and crashing and just trying to survive.
I heard, the Houffalize course, there are a couple bottleneck sections, and when 200 and some odd people are coming into a bottleneck section, it whittles the course or the field down from 20 deep to 3 deep.
Yeah.
And you spend a lot of time just hanging out off your bike, waiting for everyone to go.
Sure, and if you're a top rider and you get stuck, you drop a chain at the start or slip a pedal, and you get caught behind this bottleneck, the leaders are off
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do. You're just hanging on.
Starting position's very important. You can see why.
Right.
And riders' starting position for subsequent World Cups will be based off of how they're ranked in the World Cup standings. So you can see it's very important to do well at these early World Cups. And a North American who did real well at this last World Cup was Jeff Kabush out of Canada. I believe he finished 12th place. Kabush is currently leading the National Mountain Bike Series, having dominated. He's won all three.
Yeah.
It's been pretty impressive. Although the last two, he told me, he was definitely not the strongest guy in the race.
Yeah, he played his cards pretty well, and he's a cagey veteran, and he knows when he's not feeling good, he sits in and waits for his opportunities, which he did. So
those cagey Canadians, you got to watch him.
Very cagey.
He said he was kind of yo-yoing off the front group and letting guys like Jeremy Horgan-Kabelski and Ryan Trebone and Barry Wicks, who are obviously having better days and a little bit stronger, do a lot of the work, and then just kind of sprinted by him at the end.
You got to take advantage of your opportunities when you can.
Yeah.
And he did. So.
2007 is really important for cross-country racers because we are only 1 year away from the 2008 Olympic Games, which is it's the marquee event for cross-country mountain bike racing, and across the world, all of the best cross-country racers, are really targeting that right now. And in the United States, this year is really important because it's factoring into the selection process for who's going to represent the U.S., at the 2008 Olympic Games. And, for all those who watched the film Off-Road to Athens, which was about the 2004 Olympic Games, the qualification process was a complete mess.
Yeah, it was quite a mess. I mean, you had rules saying one thing, rules saying another thing. People are chasing points, and they don't know if there's one spot or two spots, or it was just a total mess.
What ended up happening was, the qualification process was based on who had the most UCI points. So everyone traveled around the world, totally burned themselves out chasing these UCI points. When they finally had them and settled the team, everyone was
fried. No one had enough energy left to race. So let alone try to win.
So USA Cycling has thrown in together some new criteria for 2008, and the way I believe it works, it's kind of confusing. We think is they're going to total up the UCI points from 2006 to 2007 for each person. The 5 men and the 5 women with the highest number of points, and you get these points from competing at World Cups, from competing at National Mountain Bike Series races, any race that says UCI sanctioning. So the top 5 and the top 5 men and women are going to make this long team, along with 3 male and 3 female discretionary picks. So 8 men, 8 women total. And from that team, they're going to pick who gets on. And those final picks are going to be determined by who's doing well at the World Cups next year. So obviously they're saying, look, if you're doing well at international competitions, at World Cups, World Championships, you deserve
a shot
to compete at the Olympics. So there are a lot of cross-country mountain bike racers out there who have a shot at making the team. Who are some of the ones that come to mind, Brandon, that you see having a really good shot to make this the Olympic team?
Obviously the Twin Towers and Barry Wicks and Ryan Trebron are strong contenders. Jeremy Horgan-Kabelski obviously is almost a shoo-in, I would think, but you never know. Let's see, Jeremiah Bishop. Obviously he's been at it for many years now, and he's just slowly. He's always knocking at the door, and it's just a matter of time before he gets his shot too. So
I have to think Todd Wells is on that short list too.
Absolutely, Todd's going to be there as well, and I don't know. There's a few other people underneath there that I think have a chance, but I think those are your strongest contenders right there.
And on the women's side, like we said at the beginning of this year, I was thinking, Mary McConaughey all the way. She's been the top American to perform at the World Cups, and I think McConaughey still has the best chance. But Georgia Gould has really asserted herself as really wanting to get one of those slots. And if the U.S. is able to earn the maximum number of spots, they'll be able to take 3 men and 2 women. So right now you got to think those 2 women are probably Georgia Gould, Mary McConaughey, Willow Kerber's also on that list.
Sure.
Heather Ermiger.
Heather Ermiger.
Can't count her out.
Yep.
Susan Haywood is another one
Sure.
to talk about.
And it's a long year. You don't know what can happen. People get sick, people get injured, and a lot can happen. So everyone just needs to stay on top form and pick and choose their battles wisely.
Yeah, and try and stay on the bike. You fall off that bike, you get injured.
It's all over.
That could spell the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is going to be a story we're going to be continuing to cover in Velo News. Check out the latest issue of Velo News. We have a great write-up on the latest World Cup round in Houffalize. And then also pick up the mountain bike season preview. Came out a couple weeks ago. It's got Jeff Kabush on the cover, and it explains the Olympic selection process maybe a little bit clearer than we did today. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to Velo News, the Dirt Report. Stay tuned to hear about news and notes from around the world of mountain bike racing. Thanks.
See ya.